You are listening to the Workbench After Hours podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to the Second Amendment, where we talk about firearms, everything going on in the gun community, and we even try a different whiskey every week. Welcome back to episode 119 of the Workbench After Hours podcast. Man, do we have a lot to catch up on. A lot's happened in the last week, as you probably know, and we're going to definitely talk about that. But we got some other things that kind of intertwine with that we're going to start seeing as well. And we'll talk about those too. But before we get to that, Chris, what are we drinking?
We're drinking turpentine.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it does look like. It is actually Stillhouse. So it says it's a black bourbon. Mm-hmm. And on here it says it's a masterful blend of corn, rye, barley, and limestone water. Barreled and charred new American oak, charcoal filtered, rested and mellowed and roasted small batch coffee beans. So
that's where we're getting that dark color.
I poured it and I was like, man, this is dark.
Yeah. But it doesn't smell dark.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of a coffee flavor in there. You get some vanilla.
I smell vanilla and oak.
Yeah.
That's what I'm mostly getting.
So this is in Colorado.
It doesn't smell bad.
What was the proof? 40
proof or 80
40%, 80 proof?
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be an easy drinker then.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know about the coffee thing.
I don't think it's going to be overwhelming because at least the smell, the aroma isn't overwhelming on coffee.
Coffee beans also get rid of smell.
Fair.
So,
and you're not a coffee drinker.
I am not. I got to be in the mood, and if I do, it's usually a white chocolate mocha, and that's all I drink.
Nice. Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how this is. Let me know. Like I said, really just not a whole lot on the nose.
Mm-mm. I don't get any coffee on it.
I do on the backside.
It's
kind of like more of a chocolatey coffee almost.
Yeah, I get chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't get the cocoa bean or coffee bean.
Well, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you expecting this to be like drinking coffee, it doesn't really taste like that.
No.
I've had this before actually.
It's not bad.
No, it's not high proof, so you're not getting a whole lot of burn or anything. I feel like it stays on your tongue for a while though.
Yeah, it does. I get that peppery rye on the.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say probably caramel notes.
Oh yeah.
Some oak char.
That and the vanilla and that chocolate. That chocolate's on the front end too. Mm-hmm. The back end, I get more of the traditional rye.
Yeah. I mean, as a coffee drinker, I can get the coffee beans out of it, but that's where I think we're getting that chocolate too, is from those coffee beans. I love coffee. I'm addicted to coffee. Yeah. I have 3 cups a day. I have 2 regular cups of coffee, and then if I'm out doing inspections, I got to stop and have a mocha.
Oh, I've tried and tried. I can't do coffee.
It's so good.
Just stick. My coffee is Monster.
I can't do. My day is not complete, or I can't even start my day without coffee. And if I don't have coffee, I feel like my day is just messed up.
That's how I am with Monster. Right? Monster is my morning coffee.
Ugh.
But
yeah, so I mean, I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's an easy drinker.
It's very easy. It's smooth. On the front end, you just get sweetness, vanilla, chocolate.
I would almost say hints of dark fruit.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's really sweet on the front end, and the back end you start getting that rye and pepper.
Yeah, so I like it.
It just coats the tongue.
I've only seen it a couple places. I bought this at Total Wine. I may have seen it at a couple other liquor stores, but when I was actually looking for it, I couldn't freaking find it. So it took me a while to actually find this again. It was under $30, so it's not expensive. I was always worried because of when it comes in, I'm like, that can't be good.
Yeah.
But I like it.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
I'll try it on the rock, see what it does.
So pour it on there. I'm going to pour about half of mine on there just to see what it tastes like. What did we have last week? Oh, the toast.
Smoked.
The smoked. Subtle smoke. That's right.
Subtle smoked.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I haven't drinking that
Baden
whole
and
thing
Hazel.
since then. Yep.
I keep flipping it, always calling it Hazel and Baden. I don't know why.
Right. Yeah, that stuff was good.
Yeah.
This is definitely different, but still good.
Yeah.
So we'll see what it does on the rocks as we talk about everything. We need to talk about, obviously, the elephant in the room. We'll eventually get there. But we got some stuff coming up, and I think this is going to call for a lot of people are going to be calling for gun control, especially the left. I think they're going to start blaming this whole thing on that, and we'll talk about why. But to go with that, I'm sure a lot of you, probably most of you, if not everybody, probably knows or watches Hickok 45.
Yeah.
Right? So they have sponsors in all their videos. I think they have Ballistol, a holster company, like a college SDI institute or whatever, and maybe like a couple others that are sponsors. And, you know, they mention the sponsors in their videos. They probably provide links in the description.
Yeah.
Well, they just came out with a video the other day saying that every video from when the new YouTube policies came into effect back in June that we talked about is deleted. They're removed.
Wow.
And apparently, and I didn't catch this, and obviously they didn't either, and it's very vague, but apparently in these new rules or guidelines for firearms, you can't link anything with sponsored content.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of those big YouTube channels obviously have sponsors.
Yeah, that's how they get a lot of their revenue.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't. But,
Yeah.
so we don't have to worry about our videos being taken down, but they were in communication with a rep from Google, probably just somebody behind the keyboard that doesn't know much. And with these guidelines that went in June 18th, anything with a sponsor that links to, you know, anybody that sells guns or ammunition or parts, if you have links to that or whatever, that is against their guidelines now.
That's
so
crazy.
They're worried because every video that they had since then has been taken down, which they do a lot of videos.
Yeah.
And then they're worried, like, well, what is that going to happen? Because they've had these sponsors for years.
Yeah, what's it going to do to that?
Which is stupid because this has not been an issue, and they've been following the guidelines for the 15 years that they've been on there. And now all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, no.
This is kind of sad because I know YouTube, I used to go just, if I need to know how to do something, I'd YouTube it.
Right.
And it's starting to now get out of control. Like, I hope there is another platform for content creators that want to do this stuff that also is educational. Mm-hmm. And I hope it takes off and overshadows YouTube.
It's just hard because YouTube's so popular, and to have the servers that they have to house all this. I'm going to share the screen. I know we talked about this, but I didn't catch it. And I'm assuming basically it says you can't post content with the purpose of doing one or the following: selling firearms or certain firearm accessories through direct sales or links to sites that sell those items. So I'm wondering if that's kind of where they, you know, since they had links to, say, Brownells or whomever, like the holster company, if because of that, that's where that falls in.
I don't know, because a lot of that looks like, just reading it, it's more about.
And of course, it says at the bottom, says this is not a complete list. So they can add in whatever they feel like
That's
at that point.
That's the thing, though. Like, on there, mostly it's talking about, like, parts and trying to make it simulate full auto. And
yeah, and obviously then we can't do anything with 3D printing, showing you how to build an AR, unfortunately, because, you know, a lot of people need to know that so they do it right. And then anything with high capacity magazines, you can't do anything with full auto now. You can't do anything with bump stocks. It's pretty crazy and very limiting. So
yeah,
and what sucks is the videos that you had out there before that met the guidelines that they had out previously.
Yeah, now aren't even up because of the new guidelines.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, now that we've changed those, that applies to every video prior, even though that wasn't a problem, which is absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, we can't do anything because it's their company. They can technically do whatever they want. We're just using it for free.
But at that point, you can also say, screw you, and go to another one.
Yeah. I mean, people have tried, like, Rumble. But, one, that's not very user-friendly, especially for me. I've tried posting stuff over there. It's not.
Yeah.
And there's not the traffic over there yet. So
I think it'll eventually get there.
We'll see. But, yeah, so you may start seeing, like, a lot of the, especially the bigger gun channels that have a lot of sponsorships, you might start seeing a lot of their videos get deleted. And that's a lot of revenue out of there.
Yeah, because I know Demolition Ranch he sponsored by like Liberty Safes and things like that and Vortex, like, so
yeah,
he's probably gonna lose all that because of YouTube.
Freaking YouTube. That sucks.
God.
So of course they're taking away our First Amendment right there to censor us all. And of course, I'm sure they're gonna come out now after this whole thing with Trump and revise this even more. And and basically, I wouldn't be surprised if someday down the road you just can't say anything or do anything with firearms on YouTube.
I mean, it's slowly getting there.
Yeah.
Well, until Elon Musk buys them.
So basically, we're just going to be to where you and I can sit here and just talk about them.
Yep.
If and maybe they
might not even
change
like
that, but
they might not even like our background.
yeah. So they're probably gonna be like, you cannot handle gun, do anything, you can't do shooting videos, and I see that coming.
Yeah.
Like it's
a
just
sad day.
more strict, and
I mean, there's other things out there I'd rather like restrict.
right.
Like, I don't know about you, but here lately, I thought nudity and things like that was not allowed on YouTube.
Oh, the shit that people are getting away with on that type of
Yeah,
stuff
like
now.
transparent gowns and things like that. I was like, what?
I just see that on Facebook. Like, oh,
It's on my YouTube now.
really?
Yeah, I'm sitting there like scrolling because I do like a lot of watch videos. I watch those and like some of the shoe ones I'll watch. And like all of a sudden it started doing, oh, let's try on these transparent robes.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the hell are you getting away with this?
Yeah. There's people that do like lingerie try on that's completely see through.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It's like, come on, there you could literally see everything.
Yeah, everything.
And then they found a new thing on Facebook that I've seen to where they'll have they'll be looking through like a TV or something to where you could kind of see their shadow, and then they'll take everything off, and you could see it if you look close enough. And it's like, man, and that stuff stays up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I mean, I've seen on some of these like the full thing.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was sitting there like, what the heck? Like, it was on the thumbnail, like transparent robes, and you could see everything. I was like, how are you getting away with that on YouTube?
Yep.
Like, there's guidelines I thought were strict about that.
I don't know. Maybe they're with a little bit of hiding. The algorithm doesn't see it. I don't know how.
I don't know how, because they cut out, like, I know there's Game of Thrones is like shorts on there where it shows blood or anything like that. They blur it all out.
I don't know. But I mean, as a dude, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the same time, it's like if I had
double standards.
Yeah. If I have a kid, I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't want. That's not something you want your child to see. Is these naked women and
Maybe my
stuff.
boys, I want to make sure they see it.
Right.
You know,
But it's like, okay, so that's fine, but we can't talk about educating people on guns.
yeah, it's
and
crazy.
Stuff. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure before too long they'll bust that down. Then it'll be on liquor next, and then knives.
Cigars.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it's scary times that we live in. And then speaking of Demolition Ranch, did you see the video he came out with?
Yeah, about the guy wearing the shirt. I guess they're questioning him, like, what's his affiliation with this guy and stuff. It's like he's like, I just sell shirts.
Right.
Like,
you're not. It's like this shirt or Grunt Style. Like they sell shirts to anybody can buy it. Like
that'd be like me wearing, like he said, like Nike. The guy he's wearing Nike shoes. Why didn't they go after him for that? Like, just because he had my shirt on. And I was like, man,
that sucks.
crazy.
For him,
yeah,
I mean that's.
I feel bad for him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean when I saw that video yesterday, it already had like 2 million views.
Yeah.
So he's getting some publicity, and it might help his channel. Actually,
Well, I was actually at work, and I get like MSN, like little short things, like to try to catch you to read the article. He was on one of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, he sold him in the shirt. I was like, oh my God, he doesn't know. He like, you just buy it online. Like,
Right.
It could have been on Amazon. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's not his fault. Like,
Yeah, you can't control like who. You know, somebody's going to wear your shirt and then go do whatever with
Yeah.
it. Like, you can't control that. It's unfortunate that happened, but
yeah, I feel bad for him.
so I'm kind of glad we don't sell merch anymore
Yeah.
because that I don't want Boomstick Tactical and then somebody go do something. It's like, oh,
Stupid.
that sucks.
I don't know. I think it'd be funny. Have him like in a mugshot.
Right, right. Yeah, I guess it depends on what they did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it would suck though.
yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh man, that's.
Because he's got some cool stuff.
I didn't even realize. I saw he had a gray shirt on and like some stuff on the sides like this, but I didn't really pay attention because you can't see what's on the front.
Yeah.
Of course, some of the. I won't get into some of the other videos of him. I guess maybe you can see him in those, and that's how we saw it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll get into the Trump thing and kind of a breakdown of what I think, and
I think everyone has their own
everything we know.
opinions.
Oh yeah, but what I've been seeing ever since this happened is the left. Obviously, a lot of the left, especially Biden and all those people, have been pretty silent. But there's been some other people that aren't so silent, especially the idiots that are on The View. I don't know why they argue with each other. Like when I was taking these clips that we're going to watch here, they were they sit around the table talking, but everybody's trying to talk over each other, and then they get mad. They're like, "Oh, well, I was talking," and like it's like you guys don't even like each other.
Being in a Teams meeting for work,
right? But their views are obviously completely different than us and what we talk about, and I think this is what we're going to start seeing more and more of. So we're going to watch the first one, and this is that Joy Bear. Absolutely cannot stand her, and you'll see why. But what she says here, it's like racist. And then who knew that we would be the ones being like, oh, well, that's racist towards us.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of scary, but I see this happening down the road, especially with the ammo vending machines that we talked about.
Freedom Seeds. Yeah.
So let's watch this real quick.
The shooter, yes, he was a 20-year-old kitchen worker from nearby Bethel Park in Pennsylvania. According to a CNN report, a senior law enforcement official said that he bought 50 rounds of ammunition from a local gun store hours before the rally. Shouldn't that have been reported? Somebody buys a 20-year-old white guy? I mean, we've seen that many times now, young white men with guns, and nobody reported that he bought 50 rounds of ammunition. I just want to say, though, that this shooter, he was a registered Republican. He also donated $15 to Act Blue in 2021, which is an odd thing, but he was a Republican.
So she had to get it clear that he was a Republican.
Oh, my God.
Supposedly. We don't really know.
I mean.
But she's like, he bought 50 rounds of ammo. Why wasn't he reported?
That's nothing.
We have more than that sitting on this wall behind us.
I'd never just been on 50 rounds.
Right.
I'm usually buying 100 at a time.
Yeah. Like, so
At
basically,
minimum.
if a white 20-year-old goes and buys one box of ammo, you're going to report him?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, this is what, and everybody on that panel agreed. And it's like, okay, so that's racial profiling.
Yeah.
Which is weird because,
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a huge disconnect there because, I mean, one box of 50 rounds, if you go to the range, you're going to shoot usually more than that.
Oh, you're probably going to 300, 400, 500 rounds.
Right. Why wasn't he reported? Really?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And then the focus on the fact that...
Oh, no, you spent $20 at the grocery store and you choked on a burrito. So why?
And then this is kind of where we're kind of seeing also, the credit card companies tracking sales and, oh, well, bam, this guy's white and he just bought a box of ammo. Flag,
yeah.
Send it to the authorities. And you know how many white 20-year-olds buy a box of ammo across the U.S.?
Probably
and you're going to report all of them?
Yeah.
Why did nobody report that? That is one of the most stupidest things I've heard.
I've heard some pretty stupid ones.
But we've heard a lot more stupid things. But I saw
coming from their side, from the left, from the Democrats.
Why did nobody report him? Well, he was of age.
Yeah.
And it
was 50 rounds. Come on.
One box of ammo. Nobody's going to bat an eye at that.
Yeah.
Even if you were to buy 1,000 rounds, nobody's going to bat an eye.
No.
If you know anything about guns anyway. There might be some people that see them and it's like, oh my God. But yeah. We'll talk about
stupid
kind of some of that stuff too. And then to go along with this, there was another clip. And this is where I think that they're going to try and twist the whole Trump assassination from, an ex-president. Doesn't matter if he's Republican or Democrat. He was an ex-president and a candidate from an attempted assassination. They're going to take that and they're going to be like, oh, guess what? Gun control. Because he was a Republican. He used an AR. He was obviously a white kid with. Yeah. So this is also what they said on that same show. And it's just, I see this becoming the big thing that the left is going to push out. And it's coming.
So I know everybody always says it's too soon to talk about guns, and that we should, because there has been a terrible death of a father of two, that we should, thoughts and prayers should be where we go. Mm-hmm. I say no. I say now is the time to talk about the common denominator when it came to this assassination attempt is America's fascination and obsession with owning guns.
They're rifles. They're
AR-15s and bump
rifles.
Stocks. And the Supreme Court just found that it's fine to have bump stocks. And so I'd like to think that the issue of gun control would resonate now more. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have more of this rhetoric of, had there only been more good guys with guns, this may not have happened. And so,
Well, the Secret Service had guns.
they had guns.
Those are the good guys.
And so, but my guess is they're going to say the Secret Service screwed up, if there were other people with guns. And I think that gun ownership will probably, because of this event, go up in this country instead of going down. And that is my fear. I think we need to have an honest and real conversation about real gun control.
Honestly, if we, the good guys were allowed to have those guns, that shooter would have been stopped way before.
In fact, I'm pretty sure Secret Service had him on sides for 3 minutes before a shot was fired.
Oh, no.
And they didn't have permission to shoot because due to all these acts now, you got to have deadly force brought upon you before you're allowed to shoot.
So I've heard that. I can't imagine that that's true with the Secret Service because you're protecting the president. You really think that the Secret Service is going to allow somebody to get a shot off?
Here's the other thing, too. If they would have done their job right, that should never have even had someone get up on that roof and been able to do that.
So the director of the Secret Service is a former Coca-Cola, or was it Pepsi? I don't know. But she should be fired, and she won't because it's Biden's administration won't fire her. She came out with some statements, and one of them was there was a slope of the roof, so it was too dangerous for our snipers to get up there. She literally said that. Some of those other snipers, I'm pretty sure they were on roofs too.
Yeah,
right?
they were. And if a 20-year-old can do it, why can't a Secret Service sniper do it?
And then I saw a photo of an FBI guy hosing off the blood.
Yeah.
Clearly, and it as somebody that I get on roofs all the time. That was a 3 to 4 pitch.
Yeah.
That's not dangerous at all, especially, yeah.
That I think too. We always use the term KISS, keep it stupid simple, right?
Keep it simple, stupid.
I always say it the other way, but keep it stupid simple. Why was that not? That was so simple for someone to do that. So that scares me in one way that anybody just got up there at any point, and they're lucky the idiot missed. But
so what I've heard, I was doing a bunch of videos last night, kind of catching up on what was coming out because more and more stuff comes out. I honestly don't think we're ever going to find the truth or get all the facts.
Yeah.
Because all right.
It doesn't help either that our president on July 8th literally said we need to put an end to this and stop Donald J. Trump and put him in the bullseye.
I watched Brett Cooper with the Daily Wire, and she's a millennial Gen Zer, but she's a smart one. She knows.
Yeah.
And she was going on about and made a good point. The reason this happened, this is a loner. Everybody's noticed that's a loner. And when you're scrolling on Facebook, whatever, it doesn't matter, the algorithm. So once you start seeing stuff, on the left and they're bad-mouthing Trump or whoever, the Republicans, you're going to see more and more of that. And there are so many clips of videos of some sort of politician or somebody in government or leadership literally saying that you have to take out Trump. They're instigating violence against Trump. They're like, oh, if you see him make all this, disrupt everything out in the public.
It's crazy that they're promoting violence.
Yes. But if we were to do that, oh my God, we're so bad.
Like, look at November or January 6th. Like,
yeah,
there was trials over that and no shots were fired.
Right.
But yet someone threatened a president by saying we need to put him in the bullseye. Yeah. Let's cause violence. We need to stop him. And there's no trials.
Yeah. Biden, way back in the day, when he was, a little bit more there, said he would take him out back and beat him up.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. That's
let's
cool
do
shit.
it.
Whatever. But there's, in the debate, he said literally you're in the crosshairs or the bullseye. And there's been so many other people where it comes down to, I think maybe there are city leaders or something like that. But there's people that have literally said Trump has to be taken out.
Yep.
And all these threats and how bad Trump is. And of course, that's going to get somebody that's a loner and maybe, somebody that's going to like, okay, well, I'm going to be the one that goes down in history as the one that actually does something about this. Yeah. And so they were grooming probably more than one person to do this.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's
like just dissecting
But do you hear that? Do you hear them talking about that?
No, they don't.
No, of course not.
Like I heard someone else talk about it.
But if we were to do that,
Yeah.
say, oh my God, somebody has to take out Biden. We have to take out Biden to get rid of him. Oh, all of a sudden, hell, we're going to be up in jail because
FBI would be at our house before we
that
could
was a
even
threat.
leave just by making that statement.
But because it was against Trump,
yeah,
or a Republican.
Yeah, the double standards and like the thing that really irritated me after this, like you had one job, kept popping up. How could you miss?
Oh.
Like come on, like you're wanting them to take out a human life. Like what type?
Tenacious D had to cancel the tour because his brother made a wish. Like, make a wish, don't miss next time.
Yeah,
It's like as much as we don't like Biden, I would never want to see him assassinated.
Yeah.
I would never want to see Obama assassinated. Like that is not humane. Like that is not the way. Like we could disagree and talk crap. That's fine. But in no way do I wish death upon any of them. Like, come on.
It's crazy. Like,
And have we ever said that? No. But as soon as this happens and the guy misses, you have all these people. And God, it was on TikTok like crazy. Like people going, how could you miss? Lee Harvey Oswald is rolling in his grave. It's like you realize like that's murder and like taking a life. Like I know you don't like Trump.
but taking a life, that's a little far.
You're pissed because he didn't die? Like, come on.
Like,
But if the roles were flipped, oh my God, you know how
I think if he would have actually killed Trump, we'd be in a civil war right now because of how divided we are right now.
Right.
They should be thinking that he missed because I guarantee if the civil war broke out, it'd be done in like 2-3 days.
I keep thinking like, what would have happened?
Yeah.
Or what would happen? It's
Martial law would come into effect, and at that point,
there would be a lot of pissed off people.
Oh, I bet there'll be a civil war.
Especially with all these conspiracy theories going on out there. But
yeah, there's a bunch.
Oh.
Like guys just standing there, a lady just.
Man, a lot of them, like, look, at the end of the day, I honestly, as an American, it doesn't matter what side I'm on, I hope that this was just a massive failure by the Secret Service, and then the kid just had luck. Like, it wasn't like planned out, like the conspiracy theories or whatever. Throw those out there. Hopefully, it was just a kid thinking that, I'm going to go up there. Maybe I'll get close enough and see what happens. And then fate just, with a massive failure with the security and then just pure luck, this happened. I'm hoping that's really what happened.
Better hope that's what's happening.
But as facts come out, it's like,
that you keep watching the video and seeing what's going on in the background.
You see all that stuff, and then you hear everything that they have said about Trump, and that the only way to stop him is to
put him in the bullseye,
take him out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, man, there's so many conspiracy theories out there. The ones that you just gotta laugh at. The guy, I forget what they call him, or I don't know if it's his real name or not, but the guy with the top hat and the black jacket, they're saying that's Robert Kennedy or JFK Jr.
Well, it's kind of weird watching him too. Did you watch?
I saw that. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the background.
Well, that he didn't duck nothing when shots were fired. He just stood there and pulled out his phone.
Yeah. To be fair though, like when I watched that, I'm like, it does sound like fireworks.
Yeah.
Like they probably didn't know what's going on, and by the time they realized it, I think they had already taken out the shooter. So
I don't know that. And then
there's a lot of people that didn't duck.
Yeah, there's a lady she was sitting there straight to phone, not even taking.
And one lady just boom, went down, disappeared. It's like, okay. And then they're like, oh well, there's signals and stuff like that. It's like, and the fact that you think that guy is JFK Jr. Come on, the guy died in a plane crash. I was there in Cape Cod when that happened as a kid. I remember that, and I remember all these search helicopters and planes looking for him.
Yeah.
First of all, the guy would be older than that now. That guy, and
that guy looked like he was.
The guy had a perfect life. Like, why would he?
Yeah.
Come on, no. Yeah, that stuff's just ridiculous.
There's so much conspiracy going on. It's just like, oh my god.
But I'm hoping it's just a fluke. The kid got lucky. He probably didn't think he'd get that far, and there was just a massissive failure. But that's what I'm hoping.
We'll never know.
We're never going to get the full facts because guess who's doing the investigation? Biden.
Yeah.
And his administration are taking over.
Crap, we can't tell them what we did.
At the end of the day, it's his administration's fault because, the local police were there, but Secret Service oversees them. Secret Service is in charge of the security, and then obviously the Secret Service director is directly in charge of all of that. And guess who is in charge of the Secret Service? The executive branch.
Yeah.
So this all technically falls on Biden.
Yeah.
And they even said they were undermanned, and Biden wasn't giving Trump the support he needed. And then Kennedy had 0.
Yeah.
And he even had threats against his life and had no detail until this happened. And all of a sudden, we'll give you detail now.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like
And I watched. Did you watch Mr. Guns and Gear video on it?
I've watched so many. It's
right.
They just.
So a couple of days ago, he came out with a great video. He's been in the military shooting all his life and knows this stuff. And from what was out a couple days ago, he did a breakdown of the positions of the sniper teams, the counter sniper teams, and everything. And it's like did a play-by-play of like what happened. And it does make sense to where if you look at the layout of the place and the counter sniper teams where they were positioned, I know they were undermanned, but why have two guys grouped together? Like, come on. Anybody would know that building is somebody needs to be on that building.
Yep.
Or the water tower. But he was showing like where the shooter was and where these counter sniper teams were, and looking at the photos of them reacting, it does look like there was a tree in the way. And with the low slope of that roof, you're not going to see the guy until he pops his head over. And then, of course, you had the whole incident with the cop.
Yeah,
we'll talk about. But the way he was explaining it is it does make sense that. And then you see the video of the other sniper team that's a little bit further away adjust their scopes. Yeah, because each one has, hey, you look at this way.
Yeah,
you guys are focused on this, and then all of a sudden you see the guys readjust. Yeah, and I think the guys closest to Trump that you see, the one that fired the shot and kind of got up, I think they were at the same level, and so they would probably have to adjust to actually get to the shooter, because I don't think they were the ones that actually did the kill shot.
I don't know. We'll never know.
And it's like, why was this building left unattended? And a bunch of people that actually used to work for the Secret Service said, when a president goes somewhere, granted this is an ex-president, so who knows, the Secret Service sets everything up, has a plan, and they set up 2 days prior and stay there. Yeah, like the counter sniper team, like everybody's sitting there watching and they don't move. Yeah, they do have shifts. Yep. Was this the case here? Were they there 2 days and didn't move from their posts?
I don't know, like, because I was listening to another guy. He was a special forces sniper, and he was saying that should not have happened.
Well, yeah, obviously
at all, like. Especially with them being there for 2 days. He's like, they should have known everything, had him on, like, that was a complete failure. I have no
military experience, and looking at that, it's like, why the fuck was this building not coming?
Like, it's crazy that, and
the fact nobody was in the water tower?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have the proper manpower, you don't need teams of snipers next to each other covering the same area. Like, it's fine to have one over here, one over here. And, like, you have comms.
Everyone saw this dude, too.
And not just him crawling up the roof. There's new reports that the police, that the sniper team, the counter sniper team, knew about this kid as a person of interest 30 minutes before. Yeah, 30 minutes. They said that they saw this kid, obviously, with a rangefinder, and then he was looking towards the building with the rangefinder, and then he disappeared. And apparently there was some communication, and then he showed up again with the backpack, and then he disappeared. Any other Secret Service event, especially with the president, that person of interest would have been
snatched up
real quick, asked a bunch of questions, interrogated, probably asked to leave. A rangefinder.
Yeah. Like, why would you need a rangefinder at a event?
That should be a huge red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, but like watching videos of him actually climbing up and all the people like, what is this kid doing? Like, there's someone getting up on the roof. Why is this happening? Getting police involved, trying to get people to...
And they say that was on the local police.
Yeah.
No.
That was on Secret Service.
Point fingers.
Yeah. It was crazy, though. I couldn't believe it when you texted me that. And I was like, what?
Here's what I have a trouble, and this may be the conspiracy theory in me coming out. I don't know how much he knew about guns, but it couldn't have been much.
He was supposedly trying to be on the rifle team.
But he was a bad shot.
But he was a bad shot.
Get it. Okay.
So, okay. He probably had some familiarity with shooting guns or a rifle.
Right. And shooting that distance isn't that bad, especially with an AR. You can do it. But the fact, he lived 45 minutes to an hour away.
Yeah.
How did he know what building would be unsecured?
Yeah.
that he would be able to bring in a freaking rifle that you can't really hide that.
Yeah.
You can't hide an AR-15. Yeah, you could break it down and maybe put it in a backpack, but you're not
unless you got the
that.
full freaking collapsible.
How did he know exactly where to go, what building would be unsecure, how he would get up there, and the fact that he would be able to make it to the top? For a kid that lives 45 minutes to an hour away. And how do you know where Secret Service agents are going to be and not be?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I really hope it was just pure luck that he just
I don't know.
didn't think
That's
he was going to make
too many coincidences to happen to be luck.
Yeah. I honestly think it was planned. Like
I think it was too.
they let it happen.
I think it was
They're
planned.
like, we're going to give you enough time to get off.
He failed.
And then once, you take your shots, we got to take you out.
Yep.
Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense that some 20-year-old kid knew exactly what building and that he could walk up and just...
Yeah. That's nuts to me.
And apparently there was the another counter sniper team that was inside the building when this was happening.
Yeah. Why are they inside?
Why? Because that makes sense as a sniper team. It makes sense if like you're on high ground and you're looking out a window and all this stuff. But in this scenario, I know nothing about military surveillance, all this stuff. But I'm like, common sense is where you had your guys doesn't make sense. There's a water tower. Why wasn't anybody in that fucking water tower? Like the highest position, I would be like, oh yeah, as somebody that doesn't know anything about this, I would assume you would have somebody in that tower. I would assume you would have one sniper on each of these buildings.
Oh yeah, easily.
Maybe I should work for the Secret Service.
I mean, the crazy thing is that they had him on sites. I think I saw a report. They had this kid on site for like 3 minutes, asking to take him out.
See, I have a hard time believing that they need permission to shoot to kill.
Well, the UN, I know, like when we were over in the Middle East, that we could not fire unless we were fired upon, and you still had to ask for permission to fire back.
But
it's crazy, but that's some stupid.
But when you really think the Secret Service is going to let somebody take one shot at a president?
Man, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't at that point. No.
I want to know if Biden was at this place, if this is the same.
Oh yeah.
That would have happened. Like, is this the same situation that would have happened if that would have been Biden there?
I don't know. Crazy thing is, some guy actually predicted this like 4 months ago.
Like the Simpsons did.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how was... Because they had Trump dying in 2024.
Yeah. But there was a guy that actually predicted like 4 or 5 months ago, supposedly, that Trump's going to get shot in the ear. It's going to rupture his eardrum. And he's going to be saved by God. And it's going to change everything. And he's going to win the election because of...
Well, we knew he was going to win anyway.
Yeah, but this just confirms it.
Yeah, I've also heard reports from some people that know some people that there have been a lot of threats that have been brought up to the people above, that there's an Iranian terrorist group, self, in here that have also been threatening against Trump.
Wouldn't surprise me with all the illegals coming in here that we don't know, and that they're all males and no families.
And then there was also okay, so maybe this kid was picked by them.
Could have been.
I see that, but then at the same time I don't, because the fact, if he would have been trained and picked by, say, this Iranian terrorist group, I don't think that he would have had to ask his dad to borrow his gun. Obviously, you think that the terrorist group would have probably
gave it to him.
Gave him a better gun.
They probably already had one, probably from the ones that we left behind for him.
It's like they would have given him the ammo, given him proper ammo, given him a better firearm for the job.
Yeah.
Not that this one is, but the fact that he asked his dad to borrow the gun the same day, that doesn't make sense. I feel like if a terrorist group is recruiting you, they're going to give you the weapon you need.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe they're like, all right, well, your dad has one, and you shot it a few times, use that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy because we don't know, because of border control situation.
Yeah.
And there's multiple terrorist groups.
Yeah. Again, did he just get lucky?
How
did he know?
It's
because if
too much of luck to happen,
right? Because how does he know where? Because I don't know how in advance they set up the stage and all this stuff, but it can't be that far. How did he know
that building? How to get on it?
Where everybody was where the stage was, where Trump was gonna be? It just doesn't make sense.
No, especially with him being there with a rangefinder.
Again, he was a person of interest.
Yeah.
How is
he not being surveilled the entire time.
Again, I don't have any training, and I know if I see somebody with a rangefinder, whether they disappear or come back, you need to send a bunch of people in that direction because that is a huge red flag.
Yeah. I know sometimes I'll sit in a car with a rangefinder and just like see how close I am. Like, I think that's 50 feet. Let's see.
But it's kind of like when JFK got shot.
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald was in handcuffs, surrounded by police, and yet, what was his name? Was able to come up and shoot him right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of smells like that.
I don't know. There's a lot more with that conspiracy theory, though.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot
But
more.
as much as I want to say this was just a massive fuck up, it's hard to.
It's hard. There's too many things that aligned too perfectly to be luck.
Yeah. I mean, this kid had no military training. So, and how would you know where stuff is set up? Like, how would you know where to even show up? Like, the fact that where did he park and where did he walk up from? Like, isn't that whole area like perimeter blocked and you have to go through this thing? And
I'm pretty sure you go through security checkpoints.
And apparently he didn't. And then once he was like, okay, I'm going to take the shot from this building, how the hell did nobody see this kid walking around with an AR-15, let alone crawling up onto a roof?
Well, people saw him crawling up on a roof because they were saying
Well,
stuff.
once he got up there, crawling up there, but like to actually get up on top of a roof, and I think he had to climb up on another one if you
would
look at
think,
it.
too, that there'd probably be drones everywhere with surveillance and all that, too, going on.
Our local police department uses drones.
Yeah.
You're telling me the Secret Service doesn't
Oh,
fucking
I'm
use
sure
drones?
they fucking do.
Like, that, yeah. I mean,
That's
why were there no drones?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Like, hey, who put a sniper team on this roof all of a sudden?
Yeah, and if you listen to the Secret Service director's responses to all of this, it's like
They're covering their ass as best
you
they can.
need to be fucking fired, and she won't be because it's Biden. He doesn't fire anybody.
No.
Like she needs to. And again, with the Secret Service, I get that you want to have women in there, and that's fine, but when you have somebody that it doesn't matter if president, ex-president, whoever, that the person that you're supposed to be protecting is over 6 feet tall. You want somebody on that detail to be that tall or taller.
Yep.
To shield him. That is your job, is to take the bullet and shield this guy. These women were way too short to be able to shield Donald Trump. Why are they on his detail?
I don't know.
And the fact that they can't holster a weapon,
yeah.
that should be ingrained. That should be like second nature to
mean,
be
they
able to
had
find your
handcuffs
no
and-
matter what stressful situation it is, you should be able
There's
to find
so
your
much
holster.
training and stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
That they have for those positions. Like, it should be just second nature to you.
I saw another YouTuber that I found. It's actually kind of cool. Was doing a tour of their training facility in DC, and they didn't show a lot, but the stuff that they did showed is the initial stress test that they put you in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, okay, if that's just the start,
Yeah.
like I can't imagine. and she had trouble finding her holster.
That's crazy to me.
Fucking kidding me. And then not to mention the one that's ducking behind the stage.
Yeah. It's like you're supposed to there to cover.
Yeah, I get it. Have women be in that position, but not guarding somebody
Someone
that is
that's
taller than them.
Yeah.
Like you need these big burly guys to do that. That's just one thing. Like you got to be built for the job.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy.
yeah, so obviously they need to be reassigned or just let go.
Yeah, I bet they'll have to do something.
But I honestly think this smells of a Clinton job. Honestly,
Wouldn't surprise you.
It just kind of like Jeffrey Epstein. He just happened to hang himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. It's crazy. Everyone
then
that's ever about to.
Trump was getting really, really close to winning. He was about to announce his VP. Obviously, the thing with Biden not wanting to step down, but they wanted him to step down. This was the only option.
Yeah.
And they fucked that up too.
Yep.
I don't know.
There's too much that's. Wow, that's too easy and coincidence.
We'll never know the truth. There's going to be a lot of finger pointing and obviously stuff that they're not going to release to us.
Yeah, but the View people, man, they need to shut their mouth.
So I think that's what we're going to start seeing now is,
pushing gun control.
oh, he was a 20-year-old kid.
No, they're saying he's Republican, but yeah, he voted Democrat and donated to Democrat.
But they're going to be like, oh, well, you Republicans condone this. You guys want to have these guns and allow this to happen. This is your fault. They're going to blame us. That's exactly what they're going to do.
They're going to try to, but it ain't going to work.
It's like the kid had no red flags.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have stopped this even if you want to. The gun was purchased legally by his dad. Like, there's nothing you could have done.
Yeah.
He didn't have a huge social media presence.
But he did get bullied, supposedly.
Yeah. And that's where, the algorithm with the stuff he watches is kind of driving his motive there.
Yep, because they'll keep showing you what you want.
Yep. I don't know. I just have a hard time believing he was acted alone with no...
That's
the fact that you have the balls and know how to know exactly.
I couldn't imagine, like, even thinking about that.
I wonder how far out that they posted that event was going to be there.
That and like,
because you're going into that, whether you get that far or not. You're
I'm
getting
shocked.
Dead.
Yeah,
you're getting unalived.
Yeah. This is game over. There is no redo.
Yeah, there's no coming back from this. You're if you're attempting to kill the president, you're
done.
They're not arresting you.
Yeah.
Like, they're not doing a shoot to harm.
This is game over. No more lives.
Yeah. I just don't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Because even to me, like, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I'm gonna be like,
You'd be
okay, like, these buildings are cool. Like,
You'd be
this would
shitting
be
yourself and being so paranoid the entire fucking time.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And especially when people were, like, saw him crawling up the roof.
Like,
it
questioning,
doesn't look like he moves any faster.
No.
And that the cop that apparently ducked his head up there and saw him, and then the rifle was pointed at him and he ducked down. Why the fuck didn't you draw your gun, go back up, and then take the guy out? Like, I get the guy's pointing a gun at you, but this is your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to protect everybody, take the bullets.
Yeah.
And, if you die, you die, but you're protecting your president and everybody around you. That's your job.
Yep. At that point, too, like, I'd be pepper spraying and shooting.
Like, I get, like, he should have had his gun on his holster. So why did he not duck down, grabbed his gun, and then...
Yep. Duck down with his gun and then have pepper
And that's
spray.
another thing that they're saying is like, oh, well, at that time, snipers didn't know if that was a friendly or not. They didn't want to shoot blue on blue, but...
I'm pretty sure they knew where their sniper teams were, but that there probably wasn't supposed to be one on that fucking roof.
Yeah.
Like, just basic stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure every sniper and spotter knew where their sniper teams were located on their team. And if there isn't one on that roof that was in your brief or debrief, why the fuck wasn't it done sooner?
I don't know.
Too many coincidences.
I don't think, because everybody has knows what their job is, knows what they're supposed to be covering. It just doesn't make sense.
No,
and the fact that he was able to just walk up.
Yeah.
Just walk up. Did he go through the security like everybody else? Probably not. But how did he know where to go to avoid security?
Yeah.
How did he know exactly where to access the roof?
Yep. It's crazy.
Or maybe it's like, I'd like to think it was just dumb luck on his end that he
that's too much.
Didn't think he was going to get that far, but he's like, oh well, shit, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, that's too much dumb luck.
It is.
So yeah,
it's like, all right, but we'll never know if this was orchestrated, who it was.
No,
I'm sure they know.
I'm sure we'll find out in like 100 years,
but we'll never know. No, because we still don't know about JFK.
Yeah,
the truth.
Yeah, the truth. What they want us to know. We still don't know where the 7 or 8 seconds of
and this is why they're gonna quickly turn it. They're gonna quickly turn it and blame it on Trump. This happened because you're a pro gun and make Republicans bad. And there's because he still has time in office, so he's gonna come out with some really strict gun control. And while the lady on The View is right, yeah, more people should be buying guns and gun ownership should go up, but they're gonna start blaming us.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look bad, and it's gonna be like, well, shit, man. When I heard this happen, I'm like, please don't be an AR. Please don't be an AR.
I know.
Please don't be an AR.
Anytime there's a shooting like this, you're like, please don't say AR. And then they say AR style rifle, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, at least he didn't have a bump stock or anything on it. But I was like, the way it sounded, I'm like, maybe it was a 22. Maybe it was just a 22 rifle. Like, oh man, please.
22 long rifle, something.
Because that's what it kind of sounded like.
Yeah.
But nope. AR.
Dang it.
I don't know what brand. I'm sure whatever brand it was is going to get sued.
They should. Not.
All right. Exactly.
I'm sure the dad should probably going to have to do some time.
Yeah, that's.
because it's kind of weird.
What's your opinion on that, though?
Why
Say-
you give, if my son's coming and asking for a gun, my first question is, what's it for? Where's it going to be at? And if you know he's underage,
He wasn't, though. He's 20. You can
yeah.
legally own a rifle.
yeah, but he's coming to you asking for that rifle.
But his dad.
What are you using it for? That'd be my question.
He said he
as a
wanted
dad.
to go to the range because he used to go to the range. He said he occasionally
Yeah.
went to the range. He also tried out for the school thing when he was in school, and
But wouldn't that
not a big deal.
'cause he
It was a
what?
Saturday. What do you do on Saturdays? You go to the
Yeah.
range. Hey, Dad, let me take this out.
I don't know. It'd just be
The time he's gone
yeah.
and would have come back. It's like there's a lot of time here,
Yeah,
and he's not back. And he only bought 50 rounds. I don't know.
See, that'd be my first question. Like, son, where are you going with that? What are you doing? Send me pictures of you at the range.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's something he occasionally does, it's not going to raise a red flag. Like,
Yeah.
he's
I don't know.
20 years old. He's obviously old enough to own that. I don't know,
That'd be a hard one.
right? And it's like, should his parents FaceTime? I don't know.
I mean, we do now. If your kids throw a party and it's underage drinking involved,
Yeah,
you get charged.
I don't know. It's a
It's
tough
a gray
one.
area.
because he's technically an adult.
Yeah, he is.
So I don't know.
He's-
I
I don't know. It's weird because
don't know. Do I think he should? I don't know.
I don't know. As a parent, I don't know if I just
Because
give
it
my
sounds
kid
like there
my-
weren't any red flags.
Because at that point, like, I'm not gonna give my kid my gun.
He's not a kid though. He's 20. He's an adult.
But if it's your kid, you're always gonna look at him as a kid.
right.
At that
I
point,
look at other kids. I'm like teenagers. I'm like, or like young adults.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a kid.
yeah. But like, if it came out of your loins and it's your kid that you've raised and like,
And I'd be interested to see how their family is with guns. Like, are they a big gun family or
yeah,
not? Like,
that'd be
I don't know.
interesting to know.
But
Because I know
a
me,
tough one.
my son asked me to use my gun.
Like, if
Well,
you-
all right, let's go to the range. We'll go together.
it'd be one thing if he's like 16 and you can't own a gun at that
Yeah.
point. Like,
But even at that age, like, well, I'm going to the range. I was wanting if I can use your gun. Well, I'll go with you. Like, I'm not just gonna hand you my gun. I don't know.
apparently,
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
That's a whole nother.
a
thing.
gray
But,
area.
Yeah, and the fact that he worked or was in a video for BlackRock.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
They're trying to take that down.
I still don't know exactly who they are, but from what I've heard is that they own a lot of stuff and deal in a lot of heavy stuff. Mm-hmm. So, knowing that and knowing, say, the Clintons
yeah.
and other powerful people that are totally against Trump, who has the means to orchestrate something? Sounds like somebody with billions of dollars,
Yeah. Hey.
right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Think about it. I mean, it's like Chris said, it's too many coincidences
Yeah.
to be
Just luck.
just luck.
Yeah. Stuff don't add
There's a
up.
lot of people that wanted Trump unalived,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently it's not that hard to do. And you just blame it on a massive screw up,
Yeah.
and most people aren't going to bat him. They're like, "Oh, I can't
I
believe this
guarantee
happened."
now there's security. Everyone's going to be watching.
And I don't care if you're a Trump hater or not. Any other person would have ducked and ran.
Yeah.
The fact that he stood up and was like, "Hey, we're gonna fight."
Yeah.
I know the Secret Service is getting some heat because they weren't supposed to let him do that, but at that time they knew the shooter was down.
Yeah.
So Trump is
That-
showing that he's not afraid.
That and the crazy thing, when shots were fired, people were ducking. Looking in the background and seeing people not duck and just go straight for their phone. Like, I don't care. If I'm getting shot at, I'm fucking ducking.
Yeah, but they
I'm
didn't. Again, it sounded like fireworks.
Yeah, but
They didn't
everyone's
think so.
screaming and ducking. Why is your instinct the first thing to do?
Because you want to be the one to get the shot. You want to get the good shot that's going to go.
Or are
viral.
you sitting there confirming something?
I don't know. I think luckily there was a lot of cell phone footage, so you're getting vantage points from all over. Had this been like a pre-cell phone era, there would have been a lot more questions
Oh,
that we
yeah.
never would have known the answer
Oh, yeah.
to. So
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. Like, just seeing how people reacted in the behind him. I thought it was really weird seeing like certain people They didn't duck. They grabbed their phone first and just went straight to recording. Like they weren't even scared or
That's
nothing.
what everybody does know, though.
I don't care. I hear gunshots. I'm fucking ducking.
But they didn't.
like, why would there be fireworks in the middle of a speech? You know?
People happy? Hey, yeah, Trump.
Yeah,
4th of
fuck
July.
that.
I don't know.
See, I don't know.
But don't you love how the news outlets first reported that? A lot of them were saying, "Oh, Trump fell on stage," or loud noises, and really toning it down to where what they didn't initially report. It's like it was what it was. You saw that. That's you could clearly see what that was.
Yeah.
But you're gonna say, "Oh, he ducked, he fell."
Yeah.
Loud. Trump rushed off stage after loud noises. That if that were any Democrat, they would have immediately gone to the guns and assassination attempt. They wouldn't have tried to dumb it down.
Yep.
It's like this is, and unfortunately, that's who we're getting all this news from.
Yep. It's crazy. Like, you can't trust the media.
No,
You can't. I don't care. You gotta do your
that's
own
why
research.
it's like all these stuff coming out. It's like, man, what's true, what's not?
Yeah.
And again, like the whole thing with the Secret Service having to ask permission or wait
That's
for a
how
shot.
I've always been told that you have to ask
I
permission.
get that for the military, like in a military setting, but when you're guarding an ex-president and a current runner-up candidate, you don't want to allow somebody to get the shot.
Yeah, you don't.
It takes one shot, clearly.
Yeah. It's I don't like that rule.
If that is a rule with the Secret Service, they need to change that immediately. You should not allow somebody to get. And again, like watching.
I think it's supposed to be like that. All law enforcement, military, everything's supposed to be that way.
I get the military because that could cause a huge.
I know police
conflict.
don't. I think as soon as they brandish a gun and a
Right.
shot's fired,
Yeah,
you
look
can
at the law
fire back.
enforcement. They think they see a gun.
Yeah, and they'll fucking shoot.
Yeah, they'll fucking shoot you. So I can't imagine that's it. I can't imagine.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully we find out.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that you have to wait.
You have to ask for permission
No. Again, maybe it was
because
just
they don't know if it's a threat or not.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. There's a lot
It's so stupid. But yet law enforcement. Oh, I see a gun. Bam, bam, bam.
the threat was a kid with a rangefinder.
Yeah.
30 minutes before. That was the threat.
And then crawling up on the roof with a
It's like if that would have been
rifle.
Biden up there or any other president, person,
yeah.
that kid would have been shot dead with a rangefinder.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, "Oh, we thought it was a gun."
Yeah. Whoops, my bad.
Yeah, it just seeming more and more like some of these conspiracy theories are adding up more than everything else.
Yeah. We'll
And
never know. We'll
never know who orchestrated this because this wasn't just a random thing.
No.
And the kid did not plan this himself.
No.
Let us know what your guys' thoughts are down below. Give us,
Yeah.
it can be way out there. I don't care. Let us know what you guys think.
Tell us what your conspiracy theory is.
Yeah, what you think actually happened. Because I personally don't think that 20-year-old kid could have just known
Yeah.
that he was going to be able to walk up there and do this.
I agree.
I hope that it was just pure luck. But,
Yep.
in today's world, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think he got that lucky. I think he was let in. Maybe they just let it go, or they just didn't. I don't know. There's secure that area. Because once he actually shoots, say he succeeded, say Trump didn't turn his head and the kid got the shot off. Kind of like they were going to take him out anyway, because they didn't want him to talk.
No.
No.
I don't know. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. We could go on and on about this, but yeah. But again, look for the rhetoric changing and it going from "Oh my God, poor Trump" to and trying to get and of course again the Democrats have been super quiet about all of this. Mm-hmm. I've seen something to where Biden was saying he is sticking with Harris because she would make a good president.
Nope.
Is that foreshadowing the fact that maybe he will step aside and let her?
I don't think so. It's too late in the game.
Not if it's Harris.
I think so.
No, because she's already on the ticket. So he could be like, all right, well, instead of her being vice president, she's going to be president.
Yeah, but then to have them find another vice president that they can go with.
Oh, I'm sure they have somebody lined up right now. I'm sure
I don't know.
Sure, it's Newsom or somebody.
I hope not.
Or probably or Michelle Obama.
Oof.
Maybe she's but yeah, I don't know. So keep a lookout for that and the fact that they're going to start blaming us. You're going to start seeing a lot more push for gun control. And with this, I really hope they need to cancel The View. Like, he bought 50 rounds of ammo.
Yep.
That's not a red flag.
I don't listen to them anymore just because I can't stand them.
Oh,
The stupidity.
and they all argue with each other.
And the shit that comes out of their mouth.
It's stupid.
It's literally shit.
Like, they're all on the same page. They're anti-gun and Republican, but then they're still arguing with each other, talking over each other. Somebody's got to get their point out. It's like, shut the
It's like being a
fuck
team's
up.
meeting at work.
Worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it sucks because that's what people listen to, and then that's what they think.
Yep.
Oh, well, God forbid you have, a more conservative group talk about anything more conservative. No,
Nope.
that's not allowed on TV. You can
Yep.
you can't argue pro-gun stuff on TV or the news or that, but you can argue against it and tell somebody that, oh, he was a white young kid buying a box of ammo. Why was he?
Oh, and he was a Republican.
I like how she tried to focus on that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he made a small donation to this, but it was weird. But he was a Republican.
Yeah. How do you know?
Get bent. He was a registered, but he wasn't old enough to vote in any election yet.
Yeah. So how do you know?
Yeah.
Apparently he wasn't a Republican, or he wouldn't be trying to take out the candidate.
I saw there's not a lot of stuff on him on social media, but I did see a clip of, I don't know if it's on TikTok or something, but supposedly it was him. It was kind of hard to see because it was very grainy, but him doing like screaming, like he was by himself, but people were recording him and he was screaming. It's hard to make out what he was screaming, but it was anti-Republican stuff.
Yeah. So he's a Democrat.
Yeah. But
Obviously he was a Democrat trying
he
to
didn't look
assassinate
like
a
the
Republican.
happy kid that he did in the pictures that they posted. Like, he had longer hair and shit and dressed all in black. It's like, that is a fucked up individual that is going to do something.
Yep.
Turns out.
Crazy.
Yeah. Let us know your guys' thoughts on any of that
Yeah.
stuff. And then especially YouTube policies. Hopefully that...
Hopefully it gets changed.
or
Clarification.
Yeah. Because with as long as Hickok... I mean, he's got millions of followers.
Yeah.
You're really going to take somebody off on that platform
Yeah.
that's bringing you in money.
I mean, when this shit went down originally, I think a lot of the gun people went to YouTube and fought the bylaws.
Yeah, because there's... Yeah, we'll
They
see.
might have to do it again.
Yeah. So you might start seeing a lot of your favorite stuff, go away.
Disappearing. Finding new homes.
Fight. Like Trump said, fight. You got to fight.
Yep.
Let's fight like Trump.
Got to fight
But
for
yeah.
the right to party, as
that's
Travis Kelce
I think
would
that
say.
solidified his win.
Yeah, I think
sure.
so too.
Especially the fact that he got up and did that.
Yeah.
People are, oh, that was fake.
I wish he would
That
have
was
gave the
fake.
middle finger.
Right.
That'd been even better.
No, but whoever took those pictures, man, I wish I would have been there taking those pictures.
Man, I almost want to get a big one framed and hang it up. They've already started making shirts for it.
Fuck Haktua, girl. Now we're going
Yeah.
to President Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't believe you could be famous now and make all this money for saying you're going to spit on a dick.
Dude.
Like, you said you're going to spit on a dick and now you're famous.
Yep.
Like, what?
Crazy.
That's the world we live in.
Yep. That's nuts.
She's going to spit on a dick and now she's famous and everywhere.
Yep.
Making a bunch of money. She quit her job.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then, of course, she's got to drag her friend everywhere.
Yeah.
How awkward is that?
I don't
Like,
know.
nobody cares about the friend, but then she's probably like, well,
She was with me when
because
this
of
was
her that I got
Yeah.
that on there. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like nobody really cares about you. They just care about the
There's a
soccer
song
girl.
some guy wrote. It's like a metal song with it. It talks about Hakatui girl and all this. It is so good. I need to find it and let you listen to it.
Yeah.
It was on the Johnny Dare this morning.
Nice. Oh God, I can't imagine what
It
he
was
had
good.
said on that.
He's
stuff.
like, oh my God, this is amazing. I could just sit there and put this on my radio and listen to it all the time.
Yep. Cool.
So,
Let us know your guys' thoughts. Obviously, more stuff will come out. Maybe something else came out before we posted this because
Yeah.
this is Wednesday and it coming up Friday, so maybe more stuff will come out. But I don't think it's all going to add up still.
probably not.
Question. Again, let us know your guys' thoughts. If you want to leave a message for the podcast, go check out. Man, should I even say it? Yeah, I'm not going to link it. I could say it,
Yep.
but I just won't link it. Go to boomstick-tactical.com and click on that link that says leave a message for the podcast. If there's anything you want to talk about or leave a message for, give us any ideas or comment on anything that way. Well, Chris,
Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and tickle that bell. If you're listening on other platforms, hit that follow button. And with that, everybody, have a good one.